Pleasure to talk to you again.
Good, thank you, Jamie.
So with The November Man, I understand this is a project that you really championed for a long time. And that the desire to make this movie kind of came out of your experience working on the Bond films and wanting to have ownership over a spy franchise where the characters could be grittier and more reality-based. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I think you've answered your own question,
Have
really.
I?
But
well, we want to hear
yes.
you say it.
No, but The November Man is close to my heart, and my producing partner, Beau-Marie St. Clair, and I, who, that's Irish Dreamtime, the two of us, as filmmakers and storytellers, were really intrigued by the work of Bill Granger. And it just felt like fertile ground. And it also felt like there was unfinished business for me in the world of espionage. And Bond is forever in the day in my life and forever with gratitude, and it's the gift that keeps giving, having played such an iconic role. And having saved the world 4 times as James Bond, this movie, The November Man, just felt doable. And so we optioned the book. We optioned book number 7, There Are No Spies, which had a sweet irony in itself, in title alone. And the complexity of this character, Peter Devereaux, who I play, just appealed to me, that he was a cultured fellow and really had a certain restraint to him, and yet was lethal and a killer, and had the moniker The November Man because he was lethal, because he was a dangerous character. And so those are all great emblems of the hero, of a man of mystery and ambivalence. And then we found 2 great writers in Mike Finch and Carl to stitch this all together. And again, I have to tip my hat to those 2 guys and to my producing partner, Beau St. Clair, because they really worked diligently on it while I went off around the world and made a living and made other movies.
Well, and you have director Roger Donaldson.
Who
you worked with, of course, on Dante's Peak, but he directed one of the great spy thrillers of all time in No Way Out. He knows the genre better than anyone. He must have been a great addition to the team.
Oh, well, Roger is a great friend and someone who, when I said it round the kitchen table one day, said his name and said, Roger should direct this. It was as plain as the nose on the end of my face. And Roger came and sat around the same table, having read the piece and the books, or the Bibles, the outlines, and said, right, I'm in. And so once we had Roger, then it became a movie. Then what you have then when you have material which is somewhat play-like, it became cinematic in his hands, and things got abbreviated, and the geography of the characters and where they are placed and the landscape they're placed on got defined. Hence it was Belgrade. We couldn't afford Berlin on our budget, and so Belgrade is a country that I knew about, and I'd been there. I'd worked there before the war, during and after the war on other jobs and mini-series throughout my days. And it just had a vibrancy to it, and a landscape that you haven't seen. And it just, for these characters to inhabit such an ambiance of place and time was seductive. So everybody came to the table to make November Man. Production designers, stuntman, my good friend Mark Mottram came in. He'd been my stunt double on James Bond.
Yeah, it's a great cast.
So Boyana, who did the costumes for us, had a great eye and simplicity of line, color, and Roman, who was our DP. Just everyone knew there was something to be made here that was good, because the script was good, the story was good, and you want to know what happens next.
There's some rumors that you might be involved with Sylvester Stallone in a possible Expendables 4. Any truth to that? Where does a rumor like that start?
It starts from Avi Lerner. It starts from Avi. Avi says, I'd like you to be in the Expendables. And I say, sure, yeah, I'd love it. Round drinks and wine in Sofia, Bulgaria one night. And the next thing is, it's news. Anyway, they know where to find me.
Would you like to work with Sly?
Oh, I'd love to work with all those guys.
Yeah. You'd be a great addition to the team.
It's it's a romp. it's a lot of the lads having a good time. They don't really work together anyway. They fly you in
Right,
for a
right.
few
You shoot
days.
4 days and they
you
shoot
shoot
your
4
your
days,
coverage
and then you
move
never
on.
see Sly or Arnold or any of those guys. But hey, it's a crowd pleaser, and that's what you want.
Well, I hope to see you in that, and loved seeing you this, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Mr.
All
Brosnan.
right.
Thank
Thanks
you so
a million.
much.